This episode is a re-scripted edition to make it suitable for a podcast form factor. As such, original topics may be lost during the process. You can check out the original version on the live edition playlist on YouTube. Welcome to the pilot edition of the State of the VTuber Community podcast edition. We're here to cover all the most notable happenings every month pertaining to the VTuber community, the collective, and beyond. But first and foremost, who presents this podcast series and how does this compete with existing approaches? On this edition, we'll be able to answer all of that. Without further ado, let's get right on it. Hello, my name is The Beloved, formerly known as Mother Agatha, the First Maria. I mainly present this series to keep everyone in the loop every month. This series stemmed from my interest in a journalistic approach as I've been inspired by others' approaches to covering such news, such as False ID and Kyo. However, what makes this different from others is that it also doesn't just cover such approaches. I also consider news coming from our partners, the VTuber collective that I mainly associate with, and others covered worldwide. Originally, most of the discussions are to be brought out as a hashtag AgaTalks episode on a monthly basis, but seeing that people need to keep the community in check made me realize even bigger ambitions coming from it. With the introduction and preface out of the way, what can you expect from the revitalized podcast edition of the State? Here are as follows. Monthly notable news regarding VTubers and streamers. Updates from our partners and the VTuber collective, VTresMarias. And notable news from around the world where applicable. We'll also cover news from within TBMasok, the company behind many ongoing collectives such as hashtag Mamanu Squad and their related parties. Consequently though, the next 11 editions will have their highlights compressed and some outlines removed as some of our topics have been discontinued. Most notably, V-Stream updates are removed on the podcast edition following the platform's cessation last 1 April 2024 at 12 AM PDT. With it, I would like to thank everyone who has supported the State's live edition with its first airing when the channel launched on V-Stream last 1 August 2023. It has been such a pleasure to be able to deliver the news for a year, and we're here to celebrate this incredible milestone by bringing in more audiences together from across podcast platforms worldwide. May I hope that you all support the State's mission in delivering the news that matters to the VTuber community and beyond. And for those who are worrying about the fate of the live edition following this approach, don't worry, they're not going anywhere. You can still listen to the episodes in the live edition as they originally aired on a separate YouTube podcast playlist, accessible via youtube.com/@thebelovedman/podcasts. Once again, thank you for your continuous support as we continue to deliver the news since day one. This has been The Beloved, the First Maria, welcoming you all to the podcast edition of the State. State of the VTuber Community is now signing on. Just a small thing to note here, if you're willing to get your stories out to the public or have VTuber related stories to share, the State can help you reach your audience. You can inquire directly via email at jalsa14018@gmail.com or use the hashtag StateOfVTuber on your social media posts.